Once upon a time, in a world not so different from our own, lived a bright young scholar named Stefani. But unlike her peers, Stefani was troubled by peculiar dreams. Each night, she relived a terrible moment, the grand opening of a towering sky-view restaurant, where a monstrous accident caused the entire structure to crumble, taking with it everyone inside, including her beloved grandparents, Iris and Paul. Now, the curious thing was, this tower had never truly fallen that way. It had been safely taken down, brick by brick, many years ago. Yet the nightmares felt so real that Stefani journeyed back to her childhood home, seeking answers. Her kind father, Marty, and playful younger brother, Charlie, greeted her with warm smiles. They soon visited their Aunt Brenda, Uncle Howard, and their lively cousins, Eric, Julia, and Bobby. When Stefani inquired about her grandmother Iris, Uncle Howard sighed. He spoke of Iris's stern ways, how she had raised him and Stefani's own mother, Darlene, with such a tight grip that the children were eventually taken away. This sorrowful past had, in turn, caused Darlene to drift away from their family. But Aunt Brenda, with a twinkle in her eye, helped Stefani uncover old letters from Iris. These letters spoke of a hidden cabin, fortified and secluded, and there, Stefani found her grandmother, Iris, frail and weak, succumbing to a terrible illness. Iris, with a voice like rustling autumn leaves, revealed a wondrous and terrifying truth. Stefani's nightmares, she explained, were not just dreams, they were premonitions. Long ago, Iris herself had seen the same fiery vision of the Skyview Tower's collapse. She had bravely warned everyone, preventing the dreadful disaster. But in doing so, she had interrupted the grand design of death itself. And death, dear children, does not like to be trifled with. It began to reclaim the lives of those who should have perished in the tower, one by one, and not just them, but their children, and their children's children. Iris, heartbroken after her dear Paul was taken by this unseen force, spent her remaining years meticulously documenting death's chilling work in a special book. It was only when her own illness began that Stefani's nightmares took root, a shared vision across generations. Stefani, though, found it hard to believe such a fantastic tale. She thought her grandmother's mind had finally slipped. As she tried to leave, Iris followed, pressing the mysterious book into Stefani's hands. Then, with a sorrowful gaze, Iris proved her words in a way that chilled Stefani to the bone. She allowed herself to be pierced by a sharp weather vein, willingly embracing her fate to show Stefani the undeniable truth. At Iris's funeral, a surprise awaited. Stefani's long-absent mother, Darlene, returned. But Stefani, still hurt by years of abandonment, found it hard to forgive. Later, as Stefani delved into Iris's cryptic book, she found a glimmer of hope, a reference to someone named JB, a person who had supposedly found a way to outsmart death. At a lively family barbecue, a shadow fell. Uncle Howard, amidst a series of unfortunate events, was tragically taken by his own lawnmower. After his funeral, Stefani, her heart pounding, tried to warn her family. She explained that death was now coming for Iris's descendants, starting with Howard's kin, then moving to Darlene's. But her family, full of grief and disbelief, only looked at her with skepticism. Soon after, a dreadful fire erupted at Eric's tattoo shop. Luckily, his sturdy leather clothes protected him, and he escaped. The next day, Stefani and Charlie rushed to protect Eric, certain he was next. But to their horror, it was their kind cousin Julia who was tragically crushed by a garbage truck. The family was bewildered. Why had death skipped Eric? Then, Aunt Brenda, with tears in her eyes, revealed a secret. Eric was not of Iris's bloodline, but the child of another man. Darlene, now understanding the gravity of the situation, remembered the name, JB, from Iris's book. They hurried to a hospital, where they found, JB, was none other than William Bloodworth, a man present at the Skyview as a little boy, the last person destined to die in Iris's original premonition. He told them he and Iris had spent years studying death's intricate rules after his own mother succumbed to its cruel design. Bloodworth explained that there were only two ways to cheat death, either by taking another life or by experiencing clinical death, and being brought back to life, like a brave soul named Kimberly Corman once did. With a knowing nod, Bloodworth departed, expecting his own illness to claim him once Iris's bloodline was no more. Eric, ever the daring one, convinced Bobby to try the second method. Bobby, who had a severe allergy to nuts, ate a snack laced with them, hoping to trigger a reaction and be revived. But alas, death is cunning. As Bobby lay helpless, a malfunctioning MRI machine pulled Eric in, impaling him with a wheelchair, and then, in a terrifying twist, launched a metal coil from a vending machine directly into Bobby's head. Stefani, Charlie, and Darlene, desperate to escape death's grasp, decided to drive to Iris's secluded cabin, hoping Darlene could hide there. But as they crashed through the gate, Stefani's seatbelt jammed. The cabin exploded, sending their RV hurtling into the water. Stefani began to drown, unable to free herself. Darlene, with her last ounce of strength, saved Charlie, but was tragically taken by a falling lamp post, split in two. Brave Charlie, in turn, pulled Stefani from the water and, with all his might, brought her back to life. 1 week later, as the world seemed to settle, Charlie's prom date's father, a kind doctor, shared some news with the siblings. Stefani, he explained, had not been truly, clinically dead when she drowned. At that very moment, as if on cue, a timber-carrying train derailed nearby, its heavy cargo crushing Stefani and Charlie, finally claiming them both.